traipsed in a little late. But I wanted to start off by just thinking about the purpose of congregational singing. So, why do we have singing at the beginning of our services? That's for you to answer. I'm just going to sit here and let you, this is your chance to worship. Okay?
It's a shared worship experience, rather instead of just watching someone else worship, like we're all sharing in it together.
Okay, so we're all participating.
Yeah.
Okay? That's a good thing. Why do you think we start with music? Why do we start with song?
Biblical.
It's biblical. Mm-hmm. Why do you think the congregational, you think about what we're doing, it's to worship. Okay, that's the purpose. Think about where everyone's been before they got there. Or yourself for that matter. Whether it was Sunday morning and you had 3 kids that didn't want to cooperate, or you hit traffic on the way, or you had a really bad day at work. So we have all this stuff that we've dealt with in the world, and we come into God's house. That first 15, 20 minutes of music, whether it's the prelude or getting to sing, is an opportunity to kind of shed what we've been in and get in that mindset that I'm in God's house. And so we're setting that up. It's a pretty important process that we're involved in as a congregational singing director. And so the songs you pick, that all becomes, hopefully, we all realize that's an important thing. So what's our role as a congregational song leader?
Get us in the right mood.
Get us in the right, it's to help get us in that frame of mind, and to bring our hearts into, so everyone's as one, to bring unity. So, song selection. I'm going to bounce a little bit on this worksheet. This is just a guide for me more than anything, because I can start to go off on tangents or let you do that. So that'll be our way of staying in one place. But when you're picking songs, what are some things you need to consider?
Which service it is.
Which service it is. Okay. What would be a song that you can think of that you would start off a Sunday morning service with? Off the top of your head. Is there any song that just comes to mind? Oh, worship the King. Mm-hmm.
Holy, holy.
Holy, holy. Good.
Oh, I love Jesus.
I love Jesus, yeah. And the purpose of that is it's a worship service, Sunday morning, right? And so we're all there. We've come to worship the Lord and to get in a spirit of praise and thanksgiving for what God has done. This is the day that the Lord has made. It's Sunday, it's that kind of a meaning. Sunday night, evangelistic service. What would you sing in an evangelistic service that might be a little different? Saved.
Revival songs.
Revival songs. Songs about the blood, the cross, right? You can even throw a testimony song in there, but you might want to save that for testimony time too. You can sometimes, if you do too much testimony songs before we ever get to testimonies, have we really, if a sinner's walked in, can they really be involved in that so much? Probably not. If they're hearing songs about the blood and what Jesus did on the cross, that might cause them to really consider, okay. So we want to consider our audience when we pick songs too. We, as preachers, we're told, consider your audience. Well, as congregational singer, you better consider that too. Is it a youth service? Is it older? When I pick songs out there for everybody, I like to pull from all of it. I'll throw a chorus in once in a while. And we'll stick to the old hymn, and then I'll do something that's maybe a little newer too. And that way, everyone feels like they're involved in what's going on. So that's all those things are important. The allotted time. It's good to know what your pastor wants as far as how long the congregational singing should go. Some pastors will say, I don't care. Other pastors will say, I'd really like you to be done at 20 after, or 25 after, depending on what the service might be. Or I have a lot of announcements, and there's some other things we're doing, I need you done at 15 after. It's good to know that ahead of time. Don't wait till you get on the platform. And oh, by the way, because if he says, I want you to go to 25 after and you only pick 3 songs, you're in trouble. Okay? So know how long you have. And so there's some communication we should always have with whoever's running the meeting. And so that's a critical thing. And then themes. There are times when I'm picking songs and I start to see a theme in the songs I'm choosing. And so that's a good thing. That helps everyone kind of follow that same theme all the way through, and it draws them to that. And if they're gospel songs, you can't really go wrong picking a theme. Now, if it's again, it should fit the service that you're in. If you're in Thanksgiving service, I wouldn't suggest picking a Christmas song, for instance. I mean, that's pretty drastic. But you understand that there are certain things that we want to be doing there. So as a congregational song leader, it's important for us to have a premeditated plan. Premeditated. When I lived in Chehalis for a long time, that sometimes it would be, I'll tell on myself, I was picking the songs right before the meeting started. Okay? Living here, I can't do that. We put songs on the screen Sunday morning. I need your list Thursday. Okay? So I'm picking songs for Sunday morning on Thursday. At first I didn't like that very much, but I'm finding that still works. It really does. I can still have I can think, okay, here's what we're playing, because I know what I'm playing. I know what the choir's singing. I've got that all that's been already done. So it does make sense. I could pick songs that fit what we've done already. It's not that hard. I'm a little more tied into what I've picked that way, but I will skip a song if I'm running late. I'll skip a song, it's hard to add a song because I can't throw it on the screen. So I tend to pick more songs than I'll ever use, and then I'll pick and choose from the list depending on how much time I have. I'll have, I'm going to do these for sure, and then if I need an extra, I might do that one. There have been times where I haven't picked enough songs, across the street even. And so then, it's like, during the song, you're going, okay, one more, I need one more. That can happen. And so, but if you have a theme, usually it's easier to kind of roll into a song. You might even know a song that you just want everyone to sing a cappella or something, just to make sure we're fitting that time that's allotted. So our role is to bring everyone to that point where once we get to prayer and then the scriptures read, and so we're just drawing everyone in and getting everyone in that spirit of prayer and worship. Okay? So that's our purpose, and that's kind of some of the planning we do. Now, the purpose of this gathering is the mechanics of it all. When you're working with a larger group, it is very critical that what you show everybody with your directing is understandable and is clear, and that it's our job to try to get comfortable enough with it that you can do anything and say anything and still be doing it and not have to think about it. Right now I'm in 4/4 time, but I could switch to 3/4 time anytime I want to, and I don't have to think about what I'm doing because it's just a natural thing. I can conduct and have a student come up to me in class, and I'm still talking to them, and they're asking me, can I go to the bathroom or something like that? And I say, yeah, that's fine. Oh, it goes into 4/4 there, so I'll switch. And so it becomes a very natural thing. And 6/8 time, all those things. So you want this to be something you can do without thinking about it. How do you do that? You practice. I know it sounds weird. I'm going to go practice. So stand in front of a mirror. But if it doesn't look right to you in the mirror, it doesn't magically look better when you go in front of anybody. Right? In fact, it's probably going to look worse because you get nervous, right? So you want to be confident about what that looks like. So the majority of our time here really is to talk about the mechanics. When we're thinking about songs, when Brother Don, of course, is who I listen to a lot, and I ask for help. When I first came into the church, obviously, and there was a period of time I got saved and received my experiences, started getting involved in the youth choir and things like that. And then Brother Don asked me to lead congregational singing. Well, I don't know the songs at that point. I still, at times. So every time I would go up there to conduct congregational singing, Brother Carver would stand up and call a song. I would turn to the first chair flute player and say, "How fast does this song go?" Because I didn't know. Now, luckily I'm a music teacher, so the directing part was easy. How fast does this song go? And she'd go about this fast. Okay. So I'm sight reading the notes and the words in front of everybody, but I at least know this. I can rely on this and get my way through it. That was hard. That was really hard. And picking songs for, Brother Don, that was a neat song. Probably not good for that service, though. Maybe you should try this instead. And so he would help me kind of figure out how I should be approaching each service. And it was really helpful. And one of the things I've heard him even do in a workshop here, don't pick a bunch of songs that are all in the same key. They can all be wonderful songs. The words can be great. The melodies can be beautiful. But everyone will start to kind of just go, because it's just the same key over and over. And there's something about that can be draining. So make sure that key signature, does everyone know what the key signature is? Anyone not know? Okay, so if you see two flats in the beginning of every song, find one that has one, or a sharp, or nothing. Just mix that up a little bit. It really helps kind of keep everything fresh. That's when you don't pay attention to that, you just think, oh, that's a great song. Oh, this song goes right with that, and that goes, oh yeah. And I've done that. It's like, oh, they're all in E flat. I mean, I could just start the first song and not even, just go straight through and not even have to stop almost because of the key. So be careful of that. And even time signatures. I've picked a bunch of songs that were a little more, I was looking for a peppy, and I get done, and they're all in 6/8. Next song. Next song. Oh, when's this ever going to end? So you want to mix that up if you can as well. Obviously, the song before prayer should be one that's that goes into the prayer. Most of the time it's going to be slower, but it doesn't always have to be. You can sing a song about heaven before prayer. That's always a nice thing to do. I Will Praise Him isn't necessarily a slow, beautiful ending song, but that's still a great song before prayer. So just keep in mind those things. Anything you can do that's not always the same old thing, it's okay. And it helps. I think that keeps things fresh that way. All right. That doesn't look like a time signature, but I like to teach time signatures like that so no one gets premeditated with what the 4 or the 8 or the 2 might mean. I just want you to tell me what the top number means first and the time signature. What does that top number tell us? How many notes per measure? How many? How many beats? Okay? We'll call it beats. What does the bottom number tell us? That's the same reaction I get from kids in school. They all know what the top number is. What's the bottom one? What kind? What kind of note gets a beat? How many and what kind? Those two questions must be answered before we can ever get anywhere, okay? So, we'll take that formula. We'll start with the easiest pattern in conducting. 2/4. So what does that tell me? Top number says 2 beats per measure. Bottom number tells me a quarter note gets a beat. Now, for those of you that are going, now, how does a 4 mean a quarter? What I always teach in my classes Just put a 1 over the top for a minute. What is a 1 over 4? It's a quarter. We call it a quarter, right? If it was a 2, half note. If it's an 8, 1/8, eighth note, right? Or quaver, semiquaver, depending on where we're from. Okay? Y'all feel comfortable with that? Okay. Okay, so for the bottom number, if you're confused by that's a quarter note, you just can pretend there's a 1 over that 4. 1/4 is a quarter. If there's a 2 on the bottom, 1 over 2 is a half note gets a beat. Okay, like cut time, half note gets a beat. Put a 1 over an 8, you see 6/8 time, 1 over an 8 means an eighth note gets a beat. You're conducting every eighth note. Okay? Now, 6/8 is a different kind of meter, and there's 2 ways to conduct that. We'll get to that in a minute. Let's stick with something simple like 2/4 time. Why don't we go ahead and stand while we do this, because give yourself some room. And pick a partner, because you're going to direct it to your partner so they can laugh at you and you can laugh at them and all that. So and for now, I'll let you pick a friend. I might have you pick someone you don't know later. Yeah. We have a few. Does everyone have a partner? Oh, you don't have one. 1, 2, 1, 2. Do you have one? You too? Right here, Milt. We got one right here. Do you need a partner here? He needs a partner. Okay. Okay. That's fine. Okay, so 2/4 time. Now, I encourage even left-hand people to direct with the right hand, but if you are already used to using your left hand, you can use it. Any left-handers in here? Okay. So, Steve Hopper, if you're listening, that's okay. He does left hand. So what I want you to do is start for now. I want you to just start from the top here. Okay, and you're going to make a backwards J. So you're going to go down and out. And then come back to where you came from and go back up. You're just going to follow that J up and down. And so if it's truly a J, you're going to go down, and when you come up, don't come up as far, and then come right back. It's just that simple, okay? So just J. 1 is down, 2 is back up. Okay, so let's all do that together. 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2. Make sure that you go out and not in. So everyone look at me for a minute. And I'm using my left hand so I can be your mirror. Okay? Now what you see here is not necessarily what you're showing me. I'll be nice. So here we go. This is what it should look like. Ready? Starting from the top. Go down and then go up a little ways and then come back up. Down, up, down, up, down, and make it as smooth as possible. Try not to stop your motion ever. Okay, and then notice that I'm giving a little, see my wrist at the bottom? See the wrist kind of go flick, flick, flick. That's called the ictus. That is the actual beat where people are supposed to go to the next beat. Okay, so the more natural you can make that look, the better. Okay, and it's really important that this beat look bigger than this one. 1 is bigger than 2. 1, 2, 1, 2, 1. Yeah, there you go. And so what that does then, good, that's great. Now, each one of you conduct to your friend for a little bit. Your friend that's not, and one conducts, one watches. And I want the one watching to say the counts they think they're seeing when they're happening, right? So if you're conducting, you should be able to do this. Okay, ready? You say 1, you tell me when I'm doing 1 and 2, okay?
1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2.
See, I passed. Okay? It's a good thing. I'm going to have to give someone else the microphone in a minute. All right, so one of you conduct to your friend, the other one counts. Okay? Give yourselves just a few minutes to do that. Okay? And then trade off. Ready to go. And you do the counting and stuff. I don't have to do it for you. Both. Yeah, your little flick should happen on both beats. Both, right here, at the bottom. Be more definite. Okay, so you said it right now. There you go. You just feel that more. So you know where that is. Yeah, there you go. Yes. It's good. Nictus? Why? Oh, that's what that's called. In you and any conducting class, they call that a ictus. Yeah. I have no idea. Yeah, I don't know. It must be at some point. Yeah.
How big should it really be? Because some people just
Yeah, okay, good. So these are good questions. Let's all go, you can have a seat or you can sit next to each other for a minute. The size of the beat. Thursday I'm going to be talking more about conducting a group. This is all about just congregational singing. So let's assume it's a larger group, larger room, okay? You don't want to direct this like this, okay? No one can see that. And if you have people in front, to the sides or behind you that play instruments, they need to see something. So then the natural way to conduct is to direct at your waist, because then you don't hurt yourself. Now, unfortunately, congregational singing goes against that, because you have to do it higher so that they can see you, and so that they can see me over here. I have to go higher than I need to. My shoulder does get tired sometimes, especially when I feel like I'm pulling the orchestra along because they won't go my tempo. Or at times in the church, in this church, it's hard for them to hear each other. I will have two tempos start happening from two sides. So then I have to get in the middle of them and try to keep them together. That gets it's like my rotator cuff, you know. So you need to go a little higher for congregational singing if you have instruments that are playing while you conduct, okay? And then it needs to be big. Don't be shy, okay? You can get too big. If the song is fast, you can't do that. That's when you get smaller, the faster it goes. Just shorten up the beat so you don't have your elbow fly out of the socket or something, right? So the faster it goes. I doubt you'll sing any song this fast in congregational singing. Good luck if you try. You'll have to stop and start over again, okay? Yes?
Is there something special thing to do with your hand? I never know what to, do you pull one?
Guys like me that use a baton, we have a tendency to close our hand up because we're used to having something in our hand. Choir directors, if you get too many points of origin, that's hard to, what is that? I mean, so it's good to give them something that's a little clearer. A point is nice, yeah. So if you just do this, just close your fingers together, but this is really bad. Now, yeah. But if you do this even, especially if it's a slower song, if you can just keep the fingers together and do that looks good. Because it's not just this splayed out. Okay? And some people try to get really musical. Don't do that. Okay? Because no one can follow it. They don't know where the beat is anymore. Never get to the point where you're here only on the wrist with a big group of people. Okay? So yeah, size of beat should be reasonable. As the faster you go, you can shrink it a little. But if you have instrumentalists behind you, you have to keep it above your waist. And preferably where they can kind of see over your shoulder. Yeah?
I noticed you direct with both hands.
That's when both sides are going different tempos. That's my way of, oh boy, here we go. You'll see the book go down and the stand go up and there. That's what that is. That's survival mode for me. I prefer not to have to do that. Because honestly, I'm getting old too. The book is much easier to read here than on the podium.
In LA, we have the piano on the left.
Yeah.
And so you're directing with your right, so sometimes you have to.
Yeah, Shahela's the same thing. I just made sure it was right here. So you go a little, if you get too close to yourself, that's not good either. So, elbow out just a little ways, then up here. That just it's very easy to see no matter where somebody is, okay? So you just did the easiest beat in the world, okay? It only gets harder from here. So now, the 3/4 time. I like everyone to just think about a triangle, okay? There's 3 sides to a triangle, so that should make sense. And think about a right angle triangle, okay? So you go down, out, up. Okay, and these patterns are on the back of your sheet. But sometimes those patterns make no sense when you first look at them. 1 is always down. Every pattern I'm showing you, 1 will be down. Okay? So it's the heaviest beat in any piece of music. There's lots of reasons why they do that, which we won't go into. Just know 1's always down. Okay? Now, there's rebounds. Okay, this was a rebound. 1, 2. 1 rebounded this way, so I could do 2 this way. The rebound determines which way you're going next. Right? So beat 2 is going to be over here. So I have to rebound over here. Rebound the opposite way you're about to go. Okay. I don't want you to have to think too much. Okay. I really don't. Conducting shouldn't be rebound 3 inches this way. I don't want that to happen because you'll never get anywhere. It's too much information. So I just want you to remember that you go down, out again. The weaker beats go out. Okay? This is not as strong as this or this. Okay? That's strong, that's strong. This is not as strong. That's definitely not very strong. So 2 and 4, 2 is always going to go out here. Okay? Or 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay? So 1, 2, 3. Notice the last beat tends to be that J. Back up, right? Okay, everybody stand up. Crash course. Let's all do it together first, facing me, and I'll be your mirror. Here we go. So 1, now you all should be right here, in front of your face almost. If you went that way, you went the wrong way. Okay, let's try again. Ready? 1, stop. Are we here? Looks like most of us got there that time. Good, do it again. 1, good, go out. 2, okay, we should all be here. Now we're going to do the J. 3, 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. Oh, you guys are quick. 2, 3, good. 1. Try to make it fluid. Don't let it stop. 2, 3. Try not to do this. Right? You've seen it. That's why you're laughing. Some people do that. So try to keep it fluid. 3, music is always in motion. It never stops unless there's a fermata. 1, or you've ended. 2, 3. Don't give me 5 fingers. Put them together a little bit. Good. Okay, now try to add that little bit of ictus. Bounce, 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 bounce. Good. To get that proper wrist thing, think about a table being about this high, and you're bouncing a little ping pong ball. Boing, boing, boing. Okay? It's very light. You don't want to go like that. It's going to shoot up in the air and you can't catch it. So you're just giving it a little light bounce. That's what all that is. It's a very small movement that does a lot. Okay? Now conduct to your friend. Make sure they know what beat you're on. You got about 2 or 3 minutes. Huh? 1, 2. So 2, they're still bouncing here to get there. No, you're not bouncing like that. Good. All right. Excellent. I've been watching you guys, and there's one thing I want to note. I won't point anyone out personally, but I've been watching you all conduct. Yes, I am. I'm watching. Yeah, she says, uh-oh. Don't worry. I won't. We're not videotaping you, just me. So I see this from a couple of people. They're very graceful. Where's the beat? I see the pattern. I see the pattern, but we need to be a little more get there. I do this with kids sometimes. They we'll go like this, and I'll say, "We'll start," and they won't start. Like they'll be late. I'm going. I'm not gonna do this. Aha! I got it. I don't do that. So if you do this, we're not sure when you're going to start. When are we going to get there? So once you've committed to starting the beat, get there. So it's clear then. This is not clear. It's beautiful, but it's not clear. Okay? You follow? All right. Say, okay, 4/4 time. Oh yes, we got to keep going here. We got to get to the songs. 1, 2, 3, 4. It's always fun to do it on the board. It looks so cool. All right. Now, let's go ahead and stand up. We're going to just keep moving here. 4/4 time. Now, your first beat will go down again. Okay. But then you're going to be going in. So you're going to go 1 and bounce out a little bit. So let's get this rebound right. 1. You should be over there. Try again. 1. So it's outside your body just a tiny bit. 1. Again. 1. Make sure you bounce. 1. Good. Then 2's in. 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3. Out, in, out. Or just actually down, in, out, up. Down, in, out, up. Down, in, out, up. Down, in, down. That's better. Down, in. Make sure your down stays down. Don't let it go out here. 2. Just make it a nice, easy bounce. 2, 3. That's it. That's it. Okay? Also, make sure we don't commit or don't be quick to the beat either. I'm seeing this too. Watch this one. It's like, I know I'm going next. Yeah. Make sure it's fluid. The only quickness we see to show us the beat is that little flick of the wrist. 1. See, if I took the ictus out, which you can do that in choral conducting with a beautiful slow piece. Now I'm going to add the ictus again. The only thing that's changed is my wrist. It's still fluid. So the one that I was making fun of that had the fluid, all you got to do is put a little more wrist in there. And when you commit, you don't have to go faster to show us that this is where I'm going, right there. Okay? So just be real careful of that, okay? All right, conduct to your friend. Count to 4. Here we go. You don't want to go too far. Just don't go far. Don't go way out here. It's just a little bit, so you can go the right direction next. So it's just a little rebound. If you go way out like this, then you've just created another beat that's going to happen somewhere else. 3, 4, yes. 3, 4, yep. 3 and 4 is kind of that J again, right? 3, 4 is that J from the 2/4 beat you kind of used to do. Okay? Yes. Cut time. That'd be 2. That's right. But you're conducting half notes instead of quarter notes, right? Then the music's going to go faster because you're in cut time, right?
What time do you? Okay, is that the rebound one you were talking about where you have the upbeat?
Oh, you like a pickup note? You mean?
Yeah.
Yeah, we're going to talk about that next. Yeah. Okay, have a seat. One more thing, and that's 6/8 time. Then we're going to talk about the dreaded pickup note. 6/8 time, there is a pattern for 6/8. It's on your sheet. You'll rarely use it. Most of the guys I ever see conduct 6/8 time just do 3 twice. Okay? It's less to worry about. Okay? Yeah?
What I've done on that, and this is just what I've done, but I will go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6.
So you just reverse the
I
pattern.
reverse the pattern. I
Okay.
don't know.
That works too. Now, 6/8 time, so if you wanted to, you could just do 3 twice. And I'll even fall into that once in a while just because it's a whole lot easier. The actual thing is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. The WC that we did last night was in 6. But once the music's going fast enough, you can't do 6 anymore. You've seen the faster songs. I sing because I'm happy. I sing because I'm happy. I sing because I'm free. You might as well just go. You're going to need to get some oxygen when you're done. Okay? And probably ice your elbow. So once it goes fast enough, it's called compound meter, which means it's three small beats within the large beat instead of 2, which is duple. Okay? 1 and 2 and 3 and 4, and that's the 8th notes. So there's 3. So you just conduct it in 2. 6 divided by 3 is 3. Yeah, 6 divided by 3.
2.
Yes. So that's the number of beats you use. Okay? 9, 8, 3. 1 and 2, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 12, 8. 1 and 2, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and it's a whole lot easier to do. So I do know there's a few 9/8 songs in our books. There's even one that likes to start in 9/8 and then take you to 6/8 just to see if you're paying attention. And I've been caught by that once. Luckily, I recovered quickly because conducting is not just second nature anymore. So some might have noticed, but not too many. So the pickup note. Pickup note, here's your bar line. Here's your clef and your key signature. And there's a note right there. And then there's a bar line. What does that bar line mean? And start counting over again. So beat 1. That's okay, I'll get there. Okay? All right, so there's 1. What beat is, and here's the time signature. So what beat is that? This is 3. Okay. How am I going to do that? Let's see, I could go 1, 2. That works pretty good. In your mind, you might do that. In your mind, you might want to do that. So what you do is you start on the beat previous for, now here's what we haven't done today yet, and that's called a prep. How many of you can sing a song without breathing first? Oh, good. Okay. So it's really, you can't. You have to go, and then you sing, yes? If you don't do that, you should try it. You'll sing better. So when you sing, you always breathe first. So when you're conducting, you want to show them to breathe. Not that they don't know how or that they won't. It's just that they'll all breathe at the same time and then sing at the same time, which is that's the goal of this whole idea anyway. So when we, for instance, if it's on 1, the natural thing, no matter what the beat is, what the pattern is, it's right? Up, 1. That's easy. So now, if it's on 3, and we're in 3/4 times, so it's a 3/4 pattern, 3 is where? It's up. Okay? So your prep has to get you here for 3, right? 3, 1. So I basically did 2, 3, 1. I didn't do a bunch of beats. In fact, I start at 2, where the ictus would be for 2. 3, 1. My home is built on right? Would y'all try that? Let's go ahead and stand up. It's in 3/4 time, and you're going to do a pickup note. So you're going to start where 2 happens, which happens, usually all of the beats happen within this little range in front of you. Okay? So just start right where that would be, and you're going to get yourself out to 3 so you can actually sing beat 3. And we're going to sing My Home is that My Home is Built? See, I still don't know the songs. Okay, ready? My home is built on nothing less than... Oh, wow, singing and conducting. That's even harder, isn't it? And 1 and 2, 3, 1 and 2. Oh, sing. And, yeah, okay, good. Did you get that? Okay, we're in 4/4 time. 4/4 time. The pickup's on beat 3 again. We have come into his house, right? Y'all know that one? Chorus? Okay. Same thing. You're coming from 2. Got to get to 3. Right? Here we go. Is that right? 3. So you have to go this way first, right? 2. 3, 4. So you start here. 2. That's the prep. It's 2, right? 3, 4. Follow. Try again. Good. Do it again. Now you could just go, whatever you want to do. 3, 4. Okay. Now let's say it's on 4. In 4/4 time, pick up on 4. Now you have to get out there again, right? 4, 1. So you always have to want to show the beat before it, so that everyone goes, oh, then they can sing the note on time. We're going to practice that with some songs. And there's a few other things I was going to try to get to, but let's get to some actual singing and conducting at the same time. Brother Dan Walden, please come forward. He's our pianist for the day. And I'd like you all to grab a hymn book from the cart, because you're going to get to hold a book, find the song. It's going to be fantastic. Once you get a book, go ahead and turn to 786. 786. We will review the patterns as we go, so I don't want you to feel like you're just getting thrown, well, I am throwing you in the fire a little bit. Truly being thrown in the fire will be putting you on congregational tonight, so we won't do that to you. Okay. All right. Find 786. All right, so we're going to start simple again, 786. One thing I'd like, I'll also start doing is, the way I'm calling the songs to you is the way you should try to do it in your congregations at home. How many times did I say the number? I said it 3 times. Now, you don't have to say it 3 times in congregational, but you probably would want to say 786, 786. Why do you do that? Because there's some older people in your congregation that can't hear 786. If you go 786, now they know what you said. So give everyone an opportunity to know where we're going. You know, how many of you have had the preacher give you the text where it's found? They told you once, and you're still trying to find it, and he's already done reading. Okay, he said First Corinthians. Okay, so you get to 1 Corinthians, but you can't know what chapter. What did he say? So give them a chance. If you want them to sing, make sure they're on the same page as you. 786. So we're starting easy. 2/4 time. Yes. May everyone look for the time signature. Y'all see it? Isn't that great? What beat does it start on? 1. So your prep is going to go which way? Up. See, you guys are so fast. What are you worried about? All right, stand up. We're going to sing and conduct. Woohoo! Make sure that in 2/4 time that you do the J out, not across your body, please. Go out. Okay? So I'll conduct backwards with my left hand. Here we go. So we're going to do the prep together. And now remember, you have a piano player who doesn't know how fast you want to take it until you start. If you do the prep, watch what happens. Here's the prep. He's going to follow my prep and follow my tempo. Oh, I didn't want to go that fast. What's your problem? It's not his problem, it's mine. I showed him a prep that was slow. So if you think too much, sometimes you go, okay, I got to go prep. I do this. Oh, you just told him how fast you want to go. And it wasn't very fast, right? So be thinking, when up on the... So yeah, there's a lot going on. I'm there. Yeah, so good. So here we go. You have to sing and conduct at the same time. Are you ready? Here we go. When upon life's billows you are tempest tossed, when you are discouraged thinking all is lost, comes your baby down, 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 down. You feel so pressure with the Lord. Not too low, keep it above the book. Above the book. Blessings name them one by one. A little closer to your body. You're a little too far on here. There you go, right by your shoulder. Count your blessings, name them one by one. Count your many blessings, see what God has done. Yeah, okay. So you just did one of our traditional holds. Imagine how many times I did not do that when I first was doing. Some of you were in the orchestra and remember it probably, Diane. Okay, I just keep conducting away, yoo-hoo, and everyone's trying to slow down. And what's their problem? And then I realize it's my problem. You know, I didn't know you slowed down on this song. It doesn't say to, right? How many of you would never slow down there? I mean, we all slow down there, right? Okay, and so that, again, there's another thing you do. Dun, 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 dun. Just don't lose the beat. Just keep it very steady. Okay, I saw there's some that conducted too low, and I had one out here. Okay, and honestly, just look in the mirror. You'll fix it. You don't. But if you keep it, and that gets tiring. This will hurt. This will hurt. They can't see that. So they're going to see anything around the book. Just keep it near the book. Near the book and near your shoulder. The shoulder to keep you healthy, and this so they can see it, okay? Because think you got the podium here and other things. It might just get lost. They don't even see it. All right, let's do it one more time just for fun. This time, when we get to name them one by one when it slows down, I want you to do a hold. Okay? A hold is where name them one by one. Okay? And when you hold something, don't do this. Because that's static. You should always be moving. One, not one. That just doesn't look like anything. It's like, are we supposed to sing still? Or did he stop? I can't tell. Okay, so make sure there's something going on. And then your cutoffs, just think the simple cutoff is the round one. Zoop. Okay, name them. Let's do this thing. Name them one by one. Ready? Go. Name them one by hold off. And just go right back into the beat. Isn't that cool? So you go right back into the beat. Name, just, oh, you, yeah. Okay. So don't do too many of those at once, though. They won't know. Yeah, that would be careful. Okay, let's do this song one more time. Ready? I need to get out of the way. Any volunteers want to do this one? It only gets harder. This is the easiest one. It only gets harder. Yeah, there we go. And your name again?
Shola.
Shola. All right, Shola, here we go.
Ready?
Yes.
Chorus. You want us to do the chorus or just from the?
Let's do this. Yeah, just the chorus is
Name
fine.
them one by one.
She's calling the chorus. She's in charge. So start the chorus.
Okay, from the chorus. Ready?
Just go up. Just go up. Right? You gotta give us the breath, right? So start low, and here we go. Just go up. Count your blessings, name them one by one. Count your blessings, see what God has done. Count your blessings, name them one by one. Count your many blessings, see what God has done. Fantastic. Well done. Let's give her a hand. Yay. All right, good. So we had the traditional pause. Let's do 3/4, cut time. 158, everyone. 158. Another thing when you're calling songs, you know what the next song is. You might even have it marked in your book. Take your time. Especially for the piano player. My wife is one. I've been more than once on the drive home after church. Would you slow down a little? I couldn't get to the song fast enough. You get nervous up there. What feels like a long time is probably 5 seconds.
And sometimes they have to do the indicator also.
Yes.
So they have to get the page and the indicator done and then.
Yeah, put the number up and all that. So call the number early. Maybe say the title. Call the number again, 158. Then if there's, we'll be doing verses 1, 2, and 4. Okay? It gives everyone time to get their stuff ready. So,
how many of you ever done the indicator up on the platform over on the tabernacle?
nobody.
Don't ever hope for one like that.
It's old,
It's old.
and it's very sensitive. It can go
Tell
to
you
the
who
wrong
made
number.
it. My Uncle Charlie made it. He was long gone to heaven, but It is not a good so you have a luxury if you have one that just push.
It's like it's a spring-loaded thing. If you go too fast, it just starts spinning like a top. It's pretty cool to watch. But
What they call circle movers.
yeah. All right. So this song, look at the time signature. 2-2. 2-2. What beat are we going to use? 2. Very good. So, and half note gets a beat though. So it's going to feel like the song's going faster, even though you're only doing this. Okay? So let's just start singing and see how you do. Which way are we going for the prep? Up. Very good. Here we go. Ready? Think about his love. Think about his goodness. Think about his grace. Down, up, down, down. For as high as the heavens above, so great is the measure of our Father's love. Great is the measure of our Father's love. Okay, once you get to the last note, you don't necessarily have to conduct all of it. You can just hold it. Now, let's say I'm going to start and I'm nervous. Here's what could happen. The pitfall of cut time. You ready? Think about his love. Think about his good. It's like, oh, that's not how fast I wanted to go. So you have to be thinking. Think about your tempo, and then know how many beats are in that. Think about his love. When you get to love, that's only the second bit. Think about his love. Think about how fast you want that to go, right? Think about his love, right? You don't want to get yourself in a hurry. You're crash and burn. All right, who wants to do that one? 2, still in 2, still has a normal prep and everything. Shola can't do it anymore if you're waiting for her to jump in there again. Oh, come on now. All right, Alan. It's a chorus, so you can't pick verses or choruses. You just have to do the whole thing. Think about his love. Think about his goodness. Think about his grace. That's us for as high as the heavens above, so great is the measure of our Father's love. Down, up, down, our Father's love. Good. All right. Very good, Alan. 3. Yes, sir.
Sometimes my wife will play piano, and she's very fond of doing introductions.
Yes.
And there's a tendency for, at least from my point of view, that setting the tempo.
That can help. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, is there an advantage in doing that?
Especially if your piano player is the one leading the congregational service, because they set the tempo that way, because you don't have a conductor to do it. If you have a song that's not familiar, there's an advantage of having the piano player play an introduction, or even have them play a verse before you start. So it gives everyone a chance to kind of get, how does this go? Right?
If you're in Florida, the piano takes off, and you just hope that you can know where you're supposed to start.
Yeah, yeah.
And when that comes in, you start.
Well, we know that they're leading then. You might pick the song, but they lead. Okay.
Although, I will say, once you started directing, she followed awesomely.
Yeah. Okay.
So you could move the tempo and do what you wanted
Sure.
to do, but at the beginning, she was all over the place, and I kind of had a little trouble knowing just when that was going to start.
Yeah. Yeah. There's tendencies everywhere. Every branch will have its own way of doing things. I've been in some branches where the piano always plays the intro. I've been in some where they wait for the chord, or it got dictated everything from
You may not always have the luxury of having an orchestra.
Right. Yeah, it's true.
Usually we use to set the tempo too.
Yeah, sometimes orchestra will be, I usually will have the orchestra always do an intro of the first song, just to get people, again, they've been listening to a prelude, they've been listening to a choir, they listen to announcements. It just kind of gets, okay, now, how fast is this, they might know the song, but just kind of gets everyone ready. Mm-hmm. Yeah. Okay, 3/4 time. with a pickup note. Ooh, two things at once there, I know. Let's see, 3, 4, 2. Yes?
Sometimes I don't know, like, when there's more than one verse.
Mm-hmm.
When you get to the end of that verse, do you cut it off, or do you just keep going?
I was taught by Brother Don that you pause slightly at the end and before you go back. There are some songs that kind of have a feel to them where you feel, where if the last note's long enough, you can just jump into the next one without the pause. But this one, for instance, there would be a slight pause. So, save from wrath and make me pure. And so you don't beat it, just kind of hold it, and then give another prep. And start over. It helps everyone reset. Not everyone's used to reading music. It helps them find the top again so that we're ready for the next one, okay? When you call verses, be clear. We've all been there. The person up there told me 1 and 3, and we start singing 1, and I can't remember, okay, we're doing 2? I forgot. It's even harder when the pastor calls the first song and decides which verses. You better be paying attention. Yep, you see, you just go like this and say, now what verses was that? And then, everyone knows, oh, he didn't know. Yeah, he's not talking about what's going on Sunday night, I'll bet. So make sure you hear it. I have a system that I use with my hand. I mean, if there's 3 verses and I know it's 1 and 3, I'll tuck my second finger in the book. Then I know it's 1 and 3. That's how I remind myself. It's like the string on the finger. Or if it's 1 and 4, I'll do something so I know which verses it is, because it's really 1, 2, and 4. Now you're going to watch the next webcast and see what I'm doing with the book, But that's how I keep track, because I'll forget. I'll do it to myself. So, okay, I'm calling 1, 2, and 4. I might do it to myself because I forget what I've called. That's Chehalis. That caused all sorts of riots, and they would all be laughing so hard because I'm singing the wrong verse. So you have to have a very light. And be able to accept criticism. You'll get some.
Some of us old people, we have to put a little arrow by the verses.
Put an arrow, yeah. Whatever it takes. I've been there. Which verse did I just get done with? Okay, so let's start with the first verse, please. First verse, and we have a prep. So which way are we going out? Going. Out. Yes, I said it by accident. Okay, here we go. Ready? So we're going to go out for the prep. Ready? Rock of ages, left for me, let me hide myself in thee. Out, up. On the last note, last verse, last chorus, don't bother. I encourage you not to cut off. They'll stop anyway. It's just one more motion that people are going to wonder, what are we doing now? If you don't, and that gives me a chance. That way I know, I have an orchestra behind me. When they see me when they see the arms go down, they know they're done. Because sometimes when they're playing, they're not reading which verse we're on. They're just playing until the arms stop moving. So if I'm, a couple bars before the end, I might stop. And then they know, okay, we're done. And they slow down by themselves. It's pretty cool. Together even, most of the time. So that's kind of nice. Now, let's look at 3-2 time. We haven't talked about this, but it's the same thing. Let's go to 166. 166. Again, it has a pickup note. Let's go back to our little time signature. How many beats are in 3-2 time? 3. And what kind of note's getting a beat? a half note. Half note, right? So in this song, you have a bar line and a half note. Yes? What beat is that on? 3. If you're not careful, you don't engage everything, you might think it's beat 2, 2, 3, 1. But we're in 3 2 times. So the half note gets a beat. Okay? So same pattern. It's just going to look different on the music. Okay? So we know this one too. Ready? Which way do we go for the prep? Here we go. Ready? Praise God from whom all blessings down, out. Praise Him, all creatures here be down, out. Hallelujah. Here comes the fermata. Hallelujah. Praise above ye heavenly hosts. Praise Father, Son, and Holy Ghost. Out, up and down, falling down, out. Hallelujah, hallelujah, hallelujah. Good. So the fermata, right? You went one whole cut, which is when you cut, that was your prep. Isn't that cool? Prep. Da, 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 da. Okay? So a lot of the motions you learn, they even with the fermata or a hold, the motions go right to the next thing. It becomes very much a part of the pattern. Okay? A few people are struggling singing and conducting. The best way to fix that is to go in your bathroom, lock the door, and conduct to yourself and sing all at the same time. And pretty soon it becomes a more natural thing. Again, that conducting, you're still thinking down, out, up instead of praise God from whom. There's too much 1, 2, 3 going on in there for you to be able to get past it. And that's okay. As you get more comfortable with the conducting, that will come. 2, 2, 4. 224. Here's the song we sang earlier. We're in 4/4 time, and it has 2 quarter note pickups instead of 1. Right? So we know where 3 is, and we know where 4 is. So we have to prep so that we can show 3, 4. Right? You ready? The best way to show this prep really is just if you go straight up and just slightly over here so that you can get out there. 3, 4. Okay? You ready? See if it works. He'll show us if it works or not. Ready? We have come into His house, and we're in His house, up, in, out. We have come into His house, and we're in His name to worship Him. We have come into His house, together in His name to worship Christ our Lord. Worshiping Christ our Lord. Good. Nice job. And I can tell you learned 4 first, because you could do that. So what happens, we learn 4 first. The hardest one to do is 3, because we always want to go over here. So that some of us, there just might be one pattern that's really frustrating us. So just work on that one. It's like, if I can do 2, I don't need to practice 2 in the mirror. I can already do that one. But if you've been started on 4, inevitably 3 is always like, because you're just so used to going here, and you have to go there. It's not fair. Why can't they all go there second? Okay, so that's just something you have to practice, and the whole idea of a triangle. Boom, out. Get that little right angle going, and you'll be fine. Okay, 214. Here's what I have to, when you're up there doing congregational singing, there's a lot going on in your head. You're thinking about the next song. You're watching the clock. You just picked a song. Now you have repeats. and key changes, and it's faster, and you have a pickup note. So there can be a lot that all of a sudden hits you all at the same time, right? So pick your songs wisely. If you're not if you're early in the congregational singing thing, be careful what you pick. It might be your favorite song, but if it changes from 6/8 to 9/8 and it has a fermata in 3 places, do you really want to do that the first time up there? Probably not. Probably not. You know, you'll all be looking for 2/4. Okay, what's another one in 2/4? You know, okay, no pickup notes. I don't want any pickup notes. But the idea though is just be careful for you. If you want to have success the first time up there, everyone wants you to have success up there. You know, your pastor wants you to have success up there. They want you to go up there and feel confident and be able to go up there and get everyone through it. And we want you to be successful. So the next time you go up there, you're not scared to death, just scared. And then maybe a little less scared each time. But there's always a little bit of anxiety when you get in front of people. I have it right now in front of you. There's always anxiety in front of people. There's nothing you can do about it. It's learning how to get past it enough so you can do what you need to do. Okay? And so this congregational singing and leading singing is just as much of a call as anything else. It's part of the worship. It's a ministry in itself. So picking the songs is really critical, and getting comfortable with how to lead is also really important. He has made me glad. And I want to interject this. Never get on your congregation about not smiling or about, they came from 3 kids that didn't want to do what they were supposed to do and a really bad day at work and all this. They came from all this. They came into church. The last thing they need to be is scolded. They don't need to be scolded. So our job then is, he has made me glad. My kids didn't want to do anything. I told them either. But I'm the congregational song leader, and he has made me glad. And he's made you glad. Hasn't he? Hasn't he? Yeah. Well, of course he has. Let's sing it. Okay, did that help? Did everyone want to smile then? Okay, it did. So we don't tell them to smile. We just give them the example of. We don't need to tell them, let's do that better. You didn't sing that very good. Okay, they're not the choir. They're the congregation. Okay. Now, if your whole congregation is the choir, maybe you could get away with that one. But I wouldn't use that one if I were you. So our job really is we emote. We show them what we want. And if it's a song that's about being happy in the Lord, they better see you smiling. Okay, now when you're first starting and you're scared to death and okay, I have it prepped and I will enter his gates with, I hope this stays right. That can happen. And we will all excuse that, right? Because it's your first time up there. No one's going to go, they're not smiling. What's wrong with them? They're going to go, hey, they made it. Because everyone's pulling for you when you're up there. Your first time, everyone's pulling for you. Don't you worry. It won't look like it. There's always someone that has that bless me look. There's always someone out there that does that. And they don't even mean that when they're like that. That's just how they are. They just sit that way. That's comfortable, And so you're going to see that and go, they don't like what I'm doing right now. They probably love it. They just don't know how to show you. Okay? So just remember that. Find the one that's smiling and just conduct them the whole time, if that helps you, okay? But it's really important that as a congregational song leader, we are there to help everyone get in a spirit of worship and to remember what God has done for us and to thank Him for what He's done. And that's our job. We don't need to do any more than that, okay? Here we go. Now we have pickup notes again, and we're in what time? 4. 4. 2 8th note pickups. How many beats is that total? 1. So what beat are we starting on? 4. We're prepping on 3. See, he's already thinking ahead. That's awesome, Alan. He's already thinking, what's my prep? Right? Yeah, that was it. Okay, so here we go. Ready? We're doing the prep, and then we're doing both repeats, going into the key change. Are you ready? Here we go. I will enter his gates in thanksgiving in my heart. Keep going. Enter his courts with praise. I will sing his It's really good. And again, a song that's happier, you want a little more bounce in the beat, if you can think about it that much, okay? The other thing is some of us start to, the patterns, we lose it. Try to make the words fit the pattern. He has made me glad. He has made it. There should be a word usually on the beat. So you can try to find, I will enter his gates with thanksgiving in my heart. I will enter his courts with praise. There's always a word there, especially on 1 and 3. Okay? 1 and 3 are the main beats there. So that will help you find each part of that pattern. That'll help you a lot. Let's do one that's even more complicated as far as the roadmap. 1-6-1. Now, look at the bottom of this song. DC al fine means what? You did a good job. Da capo, the top. Right? Go to the beginning. Stop at the fine. Very good. Okay. What's the time signature? What beat do we start on? 4. Preps on. Who wants to conduct it? Come on now. Brother Ray. Sing of the blessings of the Lord forever. I will sing. I will sing. I will sing of the blessings of the Lord forever. I will sing of the blessings of the Lord. With my mouth will I make known thy faithfulness, thy faithfulness. With my mouth will I make known thy faithfulness to all generations. I will sing of the mercies of the Lord forever. I will sing. I will sing. I will sing of the mercies of the Lord forever. I will sing of the mercies of the Lord. Good job. Very nice. He's a veteran, you can tell. Did you hear the song get you back to the top? He gave you a little extra there? That was good. So you get more confident with some of those things as you go. 6/8 time, 327. 327. 327, the old rugged cross. We'll start with the chorus. It says refrain on this one. 6/8 time. This is slow, yes? It's not, so I'll cherish the old rugged cross. It's not that fast, is it? Okay, so we're going to go in, it's in 6. You can direct every 8th note, and we can just stick with the 3/4 time, just twice in each bar, okay? So it looked like this, with the pickup, right? So prep out. So cherish the old rugged cross till its magnificent backside may down. I will cherish the old rugged cross that he'll change it someday for a cross. Yes? Let's do it again. One more time. Prep it out. So I'll cherish the old rugged till my trophies at last I lay down. I will cling to the old rugged cross and exchange it someday for a cross. The next one we won't conduct, but if you look at it, 312, I'm running out of time here. 312, tell me how you would conduct this one The same thing, the double 3/4 pattern would work just fine. Just like it's 6 beats per measure. And so you can just simplify it to 3 beats per measure, 3 twice.
This one and two, but I think it's either.
Yeah. If you wanted to go faster, far dearer than all that the world, that's, most people would, the dearer than all that the world can impart. Okay? Good. So that,
There's nothing wrong beating it in 6, right?
no, you can just go 1. If you can do 6, do it.
That's the way I've done it for.
Yeah, so 6/8 time, there's enough going on here. I didn't want to get into the 6/8 pattern, but I'll do it real quick. It's basically a glorified 2 pattern with lots of extra beats in it. Okay? So it's 1, 2, 3, all across one way. So you're going to go across your body. I'll do it maybe here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. And honestly, your congregation probably prefers the 3/4. Honestly. But you can see how this shows you better where that beginning of the bar is compared to doing 3/4 twice. Yeah? So you see how there's only 1, 1, so it's easier to know where you are in the measure. Okay, and let's do fast 6/8 to finish up our time here. 92. Oh, how I love Jesus. $92. And then you would give the number of verses and all that. And you've heard it before, ladies sing the second verse, men sing this, you can come up with those things to do. Those are fun. I've done, in Chehalis I did by age, young people, older young people, you don't want to offend anybody, but things like that, platform, congregation, left, right, you can mix it up a little bit, however you want to do it. Now, this is fast enough that we don't want to go, there is a name I love to hear, I love. So we're going to do it in 2. Now, here's the next thing and the last thing that this tripped me up for a while as a conductor of bands and stuff and music. In congregational singing, an 8th note pickup is still going to be a full beat. Okay? The first time it's always a full beat. So it would be, there is a name. There is a name. That's just the way it is. Don't ask me why. That's just the way it is. It's ingrained in everybody. I tried to do an 8th note pickup once, and everything crashed. I went, and everyone didn't know. No one knew what to do with that. So we won't do that. So let's try this real quick. So the first beat's a normal beat, and then we're going to be in 2. So little J's. Just going to do a J. Ready? See, now he did an 8th note pickup for us.
Sorry.
So here, let's do a pickup. We're going to go out and then up. Out. There is a name I love to sing His word. It feels different, doesn't it? When you conduct 6/8, does it feel different? It's smoother. Yeah, so that first pickup note, when you see an 8th note, just beat it normal, and it will always work right. Go ahead and have a seat. We hit most of this stuff on here. When you finish, always go ahead and pause before you go to the back to the top. The one thing I didn't really hit that probably is something that we should all remind ourselves of sometimes. Sometimes you can get passionate about the songs you've picked. You feel very strongly about the songs you've picked. And there's nothing wrong with that. I feel that that's really important that you do feel that way. But I was always told there will only be one sermon. So we want to be careful that we don't go into a long discussion. We don't tell everyone in the congregation why you're so passionate about the song you picked, because you've now invaded into the domain of the preacher who's coming up after you. And that can be awkward for the preacher if you've kind of gone in some direction and they have what the Lord gave them. So we want to be careful as the person that's up there. Be passionate about what you pick. Feel that it's led of the Lord. It has to be. It has to be. It's part of the ministry of that meeting. And then pick the song. You can say something. You can say something that leads it in, or you're thankful for the blood. Certainly, we're all thankful for the blood. You can say, aren't you thankful for the blood? That helps kind of get them thinking about what the song's about. There's nothing wrong with that. But for them to go, and the Lord saved me, and this, and just to go on, or that the Lord laid this on my heart, and save that for testimony service, or just save it for another time. That's not what Congress. That's supposed to be for everybody, not for you. It becomes a personal thing then instead of for everybody, okay? And that's easy to go there because sometimes this song really has touched you. I've had songs touch me. I'm weeping while I'm conducting. But if I were to go into why, that's not necessarily going to touch anybody else's heart. It just touched mine, and that's my business, and that should stay my business. We don't need to go there, okay? So 1 sermon per meeting. Brother Don told me that, and Brother Ray Crawford told Brother Don that. So that's something we can all take to heart, probably. Okay? So keep that in mind, too. And conduct in a mirror. I know and some of you got 4-4 in your head first, so 3-4 is going to be your challenge. And the more this can be something you don't think about it, the more, the easier it is to get up there, because then there's one less thing to think about. If you ever have questions, I have some cards now. I can have more cards later. Certainly, you can find me on the website or whatever if you have any more questions. The workshop on Thursday is more geared towards rehearsal. I'll get into more finite stuff about conducting, about different styles of conducting and how to show certain things. But this was just how to get to one again, basically. Okay? Why don't we go ahead? Yes, question?
Choir or an orchestra, is Thursday something that you wouldn't need, or would you encourage us to come anyway?
If you wanted to come, some of the stuff about conducting might be helpful, but I'll also be getting into other things. I mean, it might be good for your own personal, how do I sing better, or how do I do this better, or how do I get better at this? It might help that. For me, what I'm going to do is we're going to kind of learn how to take a piece of music, find the areas that are difficult. How do we fix those areas? What's a good way to go about a rehearsal and get a lot done in a short amount of time? Because we all have a short amount of time to get something done, even here. It's not a lot of time to get done what we try to do here. So you have to have a really good plan and know what to do when your plan starts to fall apart, and all those things. So I just want to be able to give some people some tools for that. That's what the main purpose of that one is.
Congregational singing, how do you decide how fast or slow a song is supposed to go in general? Different places, different people?
Yeah, some people will do faster and some will do slower. I personally don't like I don't like it to drag. I don't like to pick 4 songs in a row that are all slow. Or I don't like to pick a fast song and then take it too slow. You want to have some variety there, so be careful of that. And you can do too much fast too, I think. You got to give people a chance to breathe, but you don't want them to fall asleep, right? It's been a long day, Wednesday night, Thursday night, Sunday night. You want to give them, the energy needs to be there. Are we excited in the Lord? You want to have excitement. You want to feel good about being there and be excited about what the Lord's going to do. So you want to have tempo variety as well, just like the key variety. You pick the tempo. You're the director. Whatever feels right to you at that moment. I've taken a song that's been done fast and gone slow because it just felt like that night. People looked at me funny, but I didn't care.
Fastest director on the West Coast until he came to town. But then he did a lot of songs that I did slower. He did slower, or I would do slower.
Yeah, we all have our own style.
Really what he just said is how the Spirit is leading in some ways. Maybe you want to use these fast, slower.
Yeah. Anybody else? Yeah.
I'm curious, your thoughts on having the congregation pick the songs? Like, just every once in a while in a small branch church, like, is that, how do you feel about that?
I've done that before in Chehalis in the smaller situation. I think that's good to do once in a while. I like it better when it's during testimony service, where we would have someone testify and then pick the next song, pick the song that goes in between the testimonies. That's kind of neat. If you go up there and encourage people to pick their own songs, then why are you there? Did you forget to pick songs that night? I mean, then people start to wonder, why are we doing this tonight? You know? So it's okay to do that once in a while, but I wouldn't make that a regular practice.
Smaller church, you have the people there you know. If you get a larger church and someone is a visitor that night and they choose to volunteer a song and you really
Yeah.
that song, you're in trouble.
Yeah, when there are certain things about that can be dangerous. So yeah, if a visitor comes up and they raise their hand and you never called on them, so now how do they feel like they got treated that night? They didn't even know I was there. I even raised my hand. Okay, so we want to be careful of that. Yeah.
Picks the songs and just hands it to you to lead the songs.
Oh, okay. If someone else picks the songs for you and then you go lead them.
It's always picks the songs.
Okay.
You don't have a problem, it's just.
If someone asks me to do a specific, if the pastor says I want this song, I'll do that song. Absolutely.
You don't ever have the songs before the service, you come to service, have all the songs, and you just have to.
Okay. Yeah. Well, if that's the way the rank and file works, then that's the way it's done. Yeah. Here, whoever does the singing gets to pick. Yeah. Anybody else? Good. Let's dismiss in prayer. Heavenly Father, we are so thankful that we can take this workshop, and I pray that each one would be able to gain a little confidence in the mechanics of this, so that they can share their heart when they share songs with their congregations. We pray that you would help each one to take these skills and be able to use them for your honor and for your glory, and to help their congregations to just love God even more, and to realize what God can do in their lives. This is an important part of our services, and we want to do our best, and we know each one that is here is striving to do that. Bless each one and for them as they're here from here and afar. We pray that you would bless this camp meeting, Lord. We expect great things to happen, and we ask your blessing now in Jesus' name. Amen.